Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent in the world, rightly quoted by Hillary Clinton for the progressive women of modern times. An Indian entrepreneur and the founder of VLCC Healthcare, a beauty and wellness conglomerate represented in Asia, GCC, and Africa. We have the chairperson of the Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, an initiative that provides training under the Pradhan Mantri Kushal Vikas Yojana scheme. Welcome to the show, Vandana. We have Vandana Luthra, founder and co-chairperson at VLCC Group. In fact, she's received a host of awards for excellence and entrepreneurship over the years, including the Padma Shri. In fact, as we know, it's India's fourth highest civilian honor in 2013 for her contribution to trade and industry. Wishing you a happy Women's Day, Vandana.
Same to you, darling, and very big hello. And I'm actually very, very glad to be a part of this discussion, especially on Women's Day, and to talk on women empowerment and fostering a culture of women entrepreneurship is a cause which is actually very, very close to my heart. So, wishing all beautiful women an empowered Women's Day, I would say.
Absolutely. Vanna, I think everyone's eager to understand how has the journey been for you as a woman entrepreneur? Because the time you started as a country, we were far behind. Yes, things have changed today. How would you actually describe this transition that we've seen in the last decade?
Well, I would say it has certainly been a most fulfilling journey for me, and I couldn't have really asked for more. And I would say to be called a successful entrepreneur is a matter of great, great pride. And to have made a difference in the life of so many thousands of employees and customers over 3 decades of my working life has been most gratifying yet very, very humbling experience. I started work way back in 1989, and it was not common for women to go out and start businesses on their own. And I would say there were hardly any women entrepreneurs at that time. I also had my own set of personal concerns, being married in a joint family and with 2 small children. So, as an aspiring woman, entrepreneur, I would say the challenge during the initial stages was one of perception, and people were familiar with beauty parlors, but the idea of a wellness and beauty clinic was little understood and seen as futuristic. Also, as I said at the time when I founded the company, there were very few women entrepreneurs, and people were very apprehensive about women's business skill. So I faced a lot of difficulty in sort of financing my venture. I had to be persistent, assertive to convince people about the value proposition of my business. So it took me quite a while to convince them that my venture was sustainable and scalable. But nobody believed in me. But in the end, patience and hard work paid. So today, if I look at things, it's completely different, and it's much easier for women because there's so much support from the government to encourage women to go out and start an enterprise of their own. And even the banks are willingly giving loans. So I would tell every woman that if you can, you should be enterprising enough to become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely, very well put, Vanna, because currently, if you go to see, things have absolutely changed. If
Yeah.
you have the will, there is
Yeah.
always a way right now. Earlier, even if you had the will, I think the paths were always difficult to cross. Uh, if you could just help me understand, how has your journey been with VLCC? Because as you already mentioned, yes, it was difficult to convince, even investors or even, people who were planning to join you as to how sustainable is this business. And with that, a lot of family support was something that is always required as well. If you have to combine the two, how has the journey been?
Well, I founded VLCC in 1989 in Delhi as a beauty and swimming services clinic, and it is with immense pride I share that today our operations span in 350 plus locations in over 165 cities and 16 countries across South Asia, Southeast Asia, the GCC region, and East Africa. And we employ over 4,000 professionals, including medical doctors, nutritionists, physiotherapists, fitness experts, and cosmetologists who hail from 39 countries, and over 70% of whom are women. So I'm really proud of the fact. And as an integrated wellness and beauty service and product player, VLCC manages one of the largest chains of wellness and beauty clinics across Asia and operates one of Asia's largest network of skill development institutes in beauty and nutrition. So I started my career as a trainer. So we also have a wide range of skincare, hair care, and body care products, such as and nutraceuticals as well, which are not only used as consumables in treatments and therapies at VLCC clinics globally, but also retailed over 250,000 retail outlets and beauty salons across Asia and Africa. So these personal care products are manufactured in Switzerland and the company's 3C GMP certified plants in India as well as Singapore. So it's a matter of great pride for me and my team that VLCC is the only wellness player whose wellness and weight management programs are recommended by the Indian Medical Association, which is India's largest and most influential body of medical doctors and has over 325,000 members. Huge. So being pioneers in the beauty, wellness and beauty services and products domain, while I say VLCC has achieved so much over the years, I feel there's still much more to do and new opportunities emerge every day. So the COVID-19 has shown that these VLCC offerings in the area of proactive healthcare is, I would say, most relevant today. So I am very, very happy about that. So there's so much for us to do. Getting an opportunity, I think it's very nice. And I'm really enjoying my work even more now.
Absolutely.
So there's no fear. There's no fear.
Correct. There's no fear.
Okay. No, because my work keeps me so occupied and I'm so passionate that there's absolutely no fear.
No, that's good to hear. And then with this one now, what's happened is, if you see the women participation in the workforce, that has increased. Lot of women are wetting their feet in the startup ecosystem. What would you have to say about the same?
Well, a very good question. And I see a sort of very encouraging trend with more and more organizations hiring women. I would say today women also form a large part of the leadership team, which is so good. In fact, I recently read a news item on a study which actually shows that India now ranks third in the world of women working in senior management positions. And it's also said that 47% of kind of mid-market businesses in India now have women CEOs compared with 26% globally. So how fabulous is that? So I would say. So as far as the startup ecosystem is concerned, I think the fact that your own startup or business gives you the liberty of sort of time and decision making, it is very critical for a woman. It's also very empowering to own a business of your own and have financial independence, because it gives you huge confidence. It gives women a sense of ownership and identity, which sort of, makes you feel very proud of yourself. And, even your family respects you, society respects you. So I would keep it that simple as that.
Right. And then with this overall, if you go to see Vandana, the thing is, always when you're leading a journey, there is a motto, there is a vision that you need to have, and that needs to be really strong. What would that be for you as a woman entrepreneur?
Well, I would say, the motto and vision, has more to do with the business that I've chosen to create and build, and not as a woman entrepreneur. So it has always been about empowering every individual to achieve their, I would say, full potential while leading a kind of a healthy lifestyle. So if I were to look at it from a woman entrepreneur perspective, I suppose I could say that I've always believed that women can be sort of responsible for their own success and well-being if they have the will, and they are kind of determined and focused, and they believe in themselves, I would say.
Right. And with this, what has been one of the biggest hindrances or one of the greatest regrets you have as an entrepreneur?
Well, I would say that I started my entrepreneurship. When I started my entrepreneurship journey pretty late. I should have actually started it in my mid-20s. I would say. So I don't have any regrets as such, since being an entrepreneur has given me a whole new identity where I feel so empowered. So looking back, if I see, I think maybe in my initial struggling days of trying to set up my business, I had to work very long hours, and both my daughters were very small at that time, so I couldn't spend too much time with them. So I think I missed out a lot, and on the thought, I tried to do my best in
Correct.
balancing work and home. Today, all three of us are best friends, and we spend a lot of time together. In fact, I spend a lot of time with my grandkids also. I have 4 grandchildren, but still, I wish I could have spent more time with my children. That would have been really nice, but I missed out on that opportunity, I would say.
Right, but I think there's always a way to make it up as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I'm trying my level best though.
Right. So at Vanda, another thing is, with women, what happens is it's always said that there is that self-doubt plague in women. It's much more in women than what we
Yeah.
see in men. And this is one aspect which has probably been one of the hindrances why women have not been able to really grow, because you do something and probably 10 times you'll question yourself, have I done the right thing? Have I taken the right decision? And that's what confuses you. Now, do you think this is something which people should really get rid of?
Well, I feel women only doubt themselves because of society, and they're always made to feel unequal to men. And I think it is a hangover over the patriarchal legacy, I would say. But I'm glad to say that is slowly but surely changing now. And more and more women, young women, are opting for careers beyond the homes, stepping out to work and becoming, I would say, financially independent. So this is definitely giving them more confidence, and they are now in a position to exercise their choices. So as we see more and more women getting empowered, I think self-doubt is slowly getting replaced by, I would say, self-confidence.
Right. And then with that self-confidence, now what's happened is, do you think even organizations are helping women cope with their growth? And especially when there is a new normal that's come through COVID, how do you see that entire picture panning out?
I think during this pandemic, most organizations have risen to the situation, I would say, very, very promptly, and taken a very humane approach, I would say, to their workforce. So while working from home continues for some, for those who must start going back to work, I mean, they have to go back to work. So companies have also been very flexible with kind of timings and days to help women. So I think they've been overall pretty considerate with the workload, as COVID has also taken a toll on a lot of people, I would say mental health, people's mental health. So organizations have also offered counseling, etc., to their women employees to help them with the current situation. So I think there's a lot of support coming.
Right. And one of the overall development, do you think it's high time to promote women empowerment, to give a sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choices and their right to influence a social change, not only for themselves, but for others as well?
Well, I strongly, I strongly believe that it is, it is women who truly have the power to change the world for the better. Not only just as daughters, sisters, or mothers, but as the more empathetic and especially gifted gender, I would say. So every woman has a power and the kind of the determination to follow her dreams and make them into kind of reality. So to me, that is what women empowerment is all about. And in fact, that was my motivation and conviction when I started my entrepreneurial journey over three decades back. For me, it is personally, I would say, fulfilling to see that the over, 4,000, we have 4,000 professionals in 16 countries across Asia, where VLCC directly operates. And over 70% of women who are confident, career conscious, responsible, empowered, and positive change makers. So I'm very proud of the fact.
Right. So with this, do you think there are policies that are needed for women empowerment to be more impactful? And how do you think they can actually function then?
Well, I think, while there's so much left to do, a lot is already being done on the policy front in this area. So women's economic empowerment has I would say, critical connection with the gender equality. So it's great to see that in the past few years, there has been a conscious recognition of this, and even the government has launched several initiatives to address the need gap. So Skill India Mission is one such major initiative. Then there's the National Rural Livelihood Mission. And I think that this is one of the most successful schemes targeting women's empowerment. I understand it has been instrumental in creating the self groups and has helped empower women at their grassroots. So I would say both socially and economically through collective action, especially during crises such as the recent COVID-19, I would say. So we need to sort of, continue to implement more such initiatives which are specifically designed to deliver economic empowerment of women, not just at a policy level, but also successfully execute them at the grassroots level, I would say. That's most important.
Right. In fact, very rightly pointed out. And not to sound feminist, but if India truly wants to become Atmanirbhar in the 21st century, do you think women are going to play a major role to build more indigenous solutions?
So in every society, women are the real change makers. And a society or a country, I would say, only prospers if its women are sort of empowered and there's an equal opportunity for them to grow. So I would say in a country like India, which is such a young population, youth especially, women can play a very important role for us to, to become Atmanirbhar. So I would say enabling women own businesses which will have a significant, I would say, positive impact on the economy and livelihoods of India, I would say. As per a study conducted by the Global Alliance for Mass Entrepreneurship, there can be 31.5 million women-owned enterprise by 2030. So it's if efforts in this area, are really focused on, I would say. So if more women took up entrepreneurship up to 170 million jobs, it can be created within this period, I would say. 170 million jobs. Also, if more women participated in the workforce, it would actually help India's GDP by 16 to 60%, go by to 2025. I would say. So we need to create opportunities for women to step out and start businesses best suited for them, So our women are actually so talented, and they also need to be given a chance, and they will succeed, I would say, in everything they would do because they have the passion, I would say.
Absolutely. I think that passion is something which is present here. So Vanda, what would your message be to all the women who are probably either seeking entrepreneurship or even looking to get out into the corporate world with regards to your secret juice to success? What would the recipe be that you would suggest?
Well, I would say there's no secret recipe, just the basic ingredients of, I would say, focus, determination, boundless enthusiasm, tremendous self-belief and willingness to take the knocks and learn, mixed up with a large dose of the will to achieve, I would say.
Absolutely. I think that's something that everyone should think about as well. Thank you, Vandana, so much for joining us on the show. Pleasure to have you. Happy Women's Day once again.
Thank you. And let me also, wishing you all a happy and empowered Women's Day. And I would say stay healthy, stay beautiful.
Same to you. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. Bye.